was just listening to a video by George Galloway, his talk on his station that about the missiles that have gone into Russia from the Americans, really facilitated by them, supplied by them. They've got to use their code, they've got to use their guidance systems, and then now the British have followed suit, with their Storm Shadow missiles, as the ATACMS and the Storm Shadows, isn't it? Which is, well, they've just basically, Britain as a state, not the people, obviously, the Labour government, just attacked Russia. And before that, being Biden, I don't know, is it Biden doing it? It's just that's the animus they've got towards the new incumbent, that they'd rather start Third World War rather than in order to spoil his chances or something. And then you've got this army chief in Britain saying that, if there is a conflict, then there'll be people be called up. It's just absolutely insane. Probably isn't the right word. It's just sinister, and we're over 100 years away from, 110 years away from the start of the First World War, and nothing's ever been learned. They'll do it all again. They'll just try to get, like they've been doing, like Johnson went over there, spoiled the peace deal, undermined the peace deal, so that all those, however many it is, and I don't know how many it is, some people say hundreds of thousands possibly, of Ukrainian men have been slaughtered, and Russian soldiers have been killed as well. He just ensured that conflict kept going. Johnson, the buffoon, the sinister clown. I put something up on Twitter, that Jayaram dressed up as a clown. What is it with the people that clown around like that? With dressing up like clowns, or like Johnson used to do all that weird stuff with the thumbs up thing going down a zip slide and with little flags. This clowning, this sinister clowning, and Jayaram's the same. It's a red flag, to be sure. Can you blame Russia for wanting to respond to... The whole thing's been a proxy war to begin with anyway. It's all been about trying to... the channel that I mostly watch is Alex Christopherou's channel, and the Duran with Alexander Mercouris. And it's the idea, there's just been things that have been said as, they were trying to force some kind of regime change in Russia to oust Putin, and just playing this incredibly dangerous game. And of course he's not going to want Ukraine to be in NATO, is he? Or have all these missiles that right on the border like that. So it would be like Russia rocking up in Mexico and putting them there, wouldn't it? Or Canada. And then it's just... God, that this Labour government, though, this disgusting, vile Labour government, what are they? What is this Starmer thing? This monster Starmer. They're there on probably less than 20% of the electorate. What the hell? What the hell have we done? And what the hell is these people? And all these people upset that Biden and then Kamala aren't staying, and this is the stuff they're doing, pushing us to the verge of potential cataclysmic war. I hope it doesn't come to that, obviously, but that's what they're risking, isn't it? By doing that, and Putin has said, this is the genuine red line for him. Obviously, he'll see it as a direct attack. That it will be direct involvement. It's been proxy involvement all the way along. The whole thing is a proxy thing. After they did that, what they call a colour revolution back in 2014, and ousted ousted the president there and installed this coke addict Zelensky. This ridiculous, another clown, coked up drug addict Zelensky. And they've just had this, and then just all this huge washing machine for money. That's what they've used it for. Billions and billions and billions of pounds. And all the we're there until it, as long as it takes, they keep saying, and take the fuel money away from the winter fuel money away from the pensioners. But no, they've always got money for the war. They've always got money for that. This sinister, evil Labour government, and this evil, whatever you want to call them over in America, the vestiges. It's not Biden doing it off his own back, is it? It's obviously with the full agreement of the structure that's there, the deep state structure around him, because it was never him doing anything, really. He's just, they're all just puppets and figureheads, really, or they're all criminals. It's obvious that they're criminals. Starmer's a different kind of criminal. I think they've got other stuff on Starmer, I'm sure they have. But what it is, I don't know what they've got on him, but there's other stuff they've got on him. But he is, maybe they don't need to have anything on him. He's like a robot. He's like a demonic robot, Starmer. He's got to go. They've all got to go. They're putting us all in danger, and they'd be happy to, you've got these morons in the army saying, oh yes, well, you might have to join up because the army's too... What are you talking about? As people have been saying on Twitter, for a country that obviously hates its people, you'd expect all the flower of the youth to join up and get killed for a war that's got nothing to do with us, never has had anything to do with us. These are all the chess moves of these sinister organisations like the EU and NATO, and the sick American deep state government, and the deep state British government, and the horrific EU. It's just horrific. All of it's just... How far is it going to go? I don't know. The clowning Johnson creature, the son of another psychopath eugenicist, the father, Stanley Johnson. We vote for these people. People vote for these people. And I did as well. I voted. It's the only time I ever voted in my life. It was because of the Brexit thing, because it was on principle. I believed that because the people I didn't vote for the Brexit either way. I didn't vote one way or another, but I thought, I was in my, when was that, early 50s then? However long ago it was, and I to my great shame and regret, I voted for Johnson. And this election, I just spoilt the ballot. And I never voted before that, and I never will again now. Never will again. Unless the only time I would, if it was an independent, somebody standing independently. Not all these parties are just vile. They're vile, all of them, and utterly untrustworthy. But, Christ, I'll always regret voting there. I just thought the principle was that there'd been this referendum and people had voted to leave the EU, which I think is a good thing personally, although I didn't vote at the time because I just wasn't thinking about all that kind of stuff. Retrospectively, I think it was a good thing to get away from this monstrous outfit called the EU. It's nothing to do with leaving Europe as a landmass. It's just these sick bureaucracies and this endless wells and sinkholes of money, the corruption. I don't know. Hopefully, what do they say? Calmer heads will prevail. But that's the danger of this period from between Trump getting in, and they can still make these disastrous moves. And it's not Biden doing it off his own bat. They wouldn't let him if they didn't want him to do it. It's figuratively him or nominally him, but it's not Biden per se. And is it Starmer? You know, what is a Starmer? What is a Starmer? How on earth did that thing ever get to be the head of the CPS? Because they're the kind of people that they want. They want the head, that kind of person there, don't they? They want these robotic, non-human, inhuman, soulless entities there. That's why the Starmer's there, and that's why the Starmer's there now. On probably about 20% of the vote, but then that's people didn't. But there was nothing else to vote for. What was there to vote for? I didn't vote for anybody. I didn't vote for anyone. You know, if I like David Curtin, the Heritage Party. If there'd been somebody standing for that, I would have voted. Obviously, they wouldn't have got in round here. It's all Liberal Democrat nonsense round here where I live. All the Liberal Democrat crap. I did a video about a nice lady. She seemed to be quite a nice lady. Came round and tried to get my vote for the buffoon again. Another clown that was I've forgotten his name. The one that was Ed Davey, is it? He's another buffoon. He was trying to emulate Boris Johnson by doing all kind of pranks and silly jollies and doing this weird things, falling in buckets of water or whatever he was doing. You know, falling in the water or falling over, or I don't know what he was doing. But he's trying to emulate. He thought, well, that worked for Johnson, I'll do it as well. And the lady came round, and she was so pleasant in a way, but sort of perhaps professionally pleasant in that way. But I don't know. What's going to happen? Well, what's got to happen is that if they do try any kind of conscription for young people or people of any age, it's just the answer's no. The answer's no to everything they say now. The answer's got to be full-throated, full-hearted no. Niet, mate. You know, it's very dangerous what they've done now already. And very dangerous what they're continuing to do. But I really recommend the channel that I mentioned, which I've been watching for a few years now. It's the channel's called Alex Christoforou. I'll link it below the channel. And there's a kind of a associated channel called the Duran. So there's these two guys. I think they're both both got Greek names. There's Alexander Mercouris as well, in a channel called the Duran, and I'll link that as well. I know it's dark here, but I don't know. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? What they're up to. These absolutely. I don't think they're insane. I think they know what they're doing, but they're just. How on earth do these people get in positions of power? What the hell have we done? Anyway, good night on that happy note. Good night.